Human rights have never been more under attack than they are right now in this country. And here in just a minute, I'm going to read y'all an article. And when I do, those of you that read Project 2025 are going to say, yeah, Brando, we knew this day was coming. Because what Project 2025 was and is and always will be is the most extreme radical right rhetoric imaginable. And that's why that on the campaign trail, Donald Trump tried to distance himself from it. If you remember, he said he knew nothing about it, didn't know any of the people. And now we see him sharing videos of Russ Vought as the Reaper, and he's just going ahead and leaning into it, and that's what's happening here. It was not something that's popular, though. I've always said Project 2025 is not popular, and the more that comes out about it, and the more people realizes and learns about it, the more unpopular it's going to become. But unfortunately, now we're stuck with this regime, and we're going to have to be sitting here going to bat every day to call out this craziness. And that's exactly what this article is. When I read this article and heard about this first, I said to myself, this is something that I have to talk to my audience about because this is something that everyone needs to be paying attention to. This article comes to us from Forbes. And I'll go ahead and give you a warning up front. This is pretty damn disturbing. So now, abortion and DEI will be considered violations of human rights, U.S. officials say. And yep, I read that right. So the State Department has issued a new guidance to embassies, consulates, and diplomats involved in compiling its annual report on global human rights abuses with instructions to note countries with state-sponsored abortion policies and to report on the estimated number of abortions performed in a country per year, multiple outlets have reported. The new guidance also includes instructions to report any diversity, equity, and inclusion laws in the workplace, any policies that support gender transition surgeries for children, and any policies that facilitate the mass migration into other countries. Also targeted, get a load of this, also targeted are so-called hate speech laws, like the internet safety laws adopted by some European countries to deter online speech, hate speech, with the Human Rights Report will now consider to be a violation of free speech. Tommy, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's last name. Sorry about that. Deputy spokesperson at the State Department said that new destructive ideologies have given safe harbor to human rights violations around the globe in recent years, he added. Enough is enough. Critics have said that Trump's changes to the Human Rights Report are disregarding long-held universal standards in the field in efforts to push the administration's agenda. The new guidance comes months after the first human rights report under the Trump administration was issued and found to be roughly one-third of the length of reports in the years past and excluded things like poor prison conditions in El Salvador and violation of the freedom of peaceful assembly in China. Former senior State Department official and head of the Human Rights First charity, Uzra Zia, I guess they say that, told the BBC that the rules reflect jaw-dropping animosity towards LGBTQ plus people and said attempting to label DEI as a human rights violation set a new low in the Trump administration's weaponization of international human rights. Amanda Claising of Amnesty International told global news agency that the new standards send a message that the U.S. no longer believes in the foundational element of human rights system that it helped to build. And folks, honestly, as I sit here and read this and look back through it, it's truly heartbreaking and disgusting that we're here at this particular point. Now, abortion will be viewed as a human rights violation. DEI will be viewed that way if it's in the workplace. Any gender-affirming care will be. And also, they're targeting hate speech laws. If you'll notice, when they go to bat, when they go to bat against people, they always go to bat for hate speech. And to me, that's one of the most disgusting things. You know, you have free speech. I say it all the time here on the channel. You have free speech. You can say whatever you want to say. But you can also be held accountable for that speech. But in Donald Trump's world, like we're seeing with Mark Kelly, if that speech steps out of line with Donald Trump, that will be considered seditious behavior, punishable by death. If you just simply say, follow the Constitution, don't follow illegal orders, they can take that and twist that and say that that's a violation. It's absolutely crazy that we're here. but we all saw it coming. And that's the part that's even more frustrating for this, for me, is because we all saw this coming. We all knew that it would happen. And this truly is one of the most radical administrations ever, who is going out of their way now to completely rewrite the narrative and completely reshape it to their image. It's not an image that I don't think for one second that this is an image that is reflective of all of the people. I think most Americans are against Project 2025, and I think more Americans would be if they understood it and went out of their way to find it, read it, and see what it was all about. We talked about it on the channel. We broke it down. We read different parts of it, and we said, this is what's coming. And now we're sitting here going, here it is. And I don't like being the person to sit here and say, we told you so. This is not something that I wanted to say, we told you so about. I wanted to see this ideology defeated. And you can think whatever you want to about Kamala Harris, but if she was in office today, we would not be going through the things that we're going through under Donald Trump. And I would have loved to have seen her, like Nancy Pelosi did the speech. I would love to see her just reach and get Project 2025 and shred it one page at a time. And whoever the next Democratic president is, I really hope they will. I'll send them a cigar on Brando. I will send you the cigar if you will light every damn page of that Project 2025 and light it right on national television and send a big fuck you to all of these radical, right-wing, racist extremists. And that's what this is. They are taking their political ideologies now and they're going to shape the narrative to fit that. And when you're sitting there saying that a woman having an abortion is now a human rights violation, or DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that's wrong. That's a human rights violation. Oh, and if you stop someone from spreading hate speech, that is a human rights violation. It's absolutely disgusting to me that we're here at this point in the United States of America. I know I say that a lot. But all we can do is keep fighting the good fight, folks. I do believe that we're on the right side of history. I'll always believe that. And you need to always believe that. And always hold your head up high and don't ever back down. Don't ever back down when you got the truth on your side. You know, I understand that it's easy for Donald Trump to throw his weight around. And I understand that a lot of people are in positions where they can't create a YouTube channel and they can't talk and they can't speak up the way they would want to. But as of the moment, right now, we can still vote and we can still encourage others to vote. And maybe you're not able to start a platform and do what I'm doing, and maybe you're not able to run for office, maybe you're not able to do other things, but you can still have conversations, have the tough conversations. You can spread the word to your friends, let them know what's really going on. I just think a lot of people thought these things would not happen. And also, really, if I'm just being honest with you, I think a lot of people looked over at people like us and said, well, that's just a bunch of shit them liberals are pushing. That's not real. That's just something the liberals are saying at Project 2025, but Trump ain't got to do with that. Yeah, he absolutely did. We showed videos of him sitting behind closed doors saying, we understand that Trump has to distance himself from us right now. We understand that he has to say what he has to say to get across the finish line. They were saying it then, folks. They knew they weren't popular, but now they're in charge. And we've got a long road ahead of us to get us out of this ditch. And we're in one at the moment. But hopefully we will have enough fighters that will be willing to stand up and go to bat and fight for human rights instead of against it. I really sometimes when I pull up these articles, to tell you the truth, I can't even believe I'm reading them. Sometimes later on I'll go back and read it again and I'll realize things that I could have said in the video. But it's just because sometimes when I'm reading it, it's a shock to my system. And then again, there's this part of me going, yeah, but we told them so. And that's the hardest part to me is when you're sitting there going, you know, we told them so. We tried to warn them this was coming. And a whole lot of people didn't care. But we care and we'll keep fighting the good fight. And I appreciate y'all so much for supporting what it is that I do. And thank you so much for listening. I hope everyone has a great holiday. Be there for your family. Be there for your friends. And just always stand up for truth and basic human decency. And we will get through this and come out on the other side. And either way you slice it, don't ever forget, we're on the right side of history.